Welcome back to the Opportunity Zone.
You're dark.
All right, now we're live back at the Opportunity Zone.
Little technical.
All right, Chris, you ready to rock today?
We are. The camera's not.
Okay, now it is.
Hey.
Hey guys, big show today. The release of the multifamily 2026 forecast has come upon us. We're going to go through it. We're going to break down today the hottest markets for 2026 per the big experts that pay a lot for the data. So if you want that, stick around for this episode. In addition, the Davos debate. We had the Trump administration speak in Davos. They laid out Trump's housing plan for affordability up on the world stage. We're going to break down the hidden fact that Chris discovered the secret motive of why they're doing one of the moves.
Dun, 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 dun.
Additionally, we have Trump signing an executive order that basically is banning Wall Street from buying houses. We'll get into that secret a little bit more during today's episode. Chris, I got a quick Bible lesson, and then are you cool to do the blessing after the Bible lesson?
If God allows me.
All right, let's hope that he does. So first off, the term "till death do us part." You have any idea where this comes from? A lot of people think that they can pull that directly from the Bible, but it's actually not. It stems from the Bible. Let me explain how. You have a book in the Bible called the Book of Ruth, Old Testament. And what happens is that you have a husband and wife named Naomi. They leave Bethlehem, their home, because of a famine. They move over to an area called Moab, indicated on this map here, 70, maybe 80-mile journey. They get there. They have two kids, two boys. The boys both get married to young women who are Moabite women. The dad dies, the husband dies, and then the boys both die. So now you have a widow living with two widowed daughter-in-laws. And while she's contemplating her next move, she turns to her daughter-in-laws and says, "Hey, you guys stay here. This is your homeland. You stay in Moab. I'm going to go back home. I got to go back and be where my original roots are from." And one of her daughter-in-laws, Naomi, says something that set the tone for this passage, this "till death do us part." She said, "Where you go, I will go. And where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die. And there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, until death separates us."
Till death we do part.
That's it. So a few thousand years later, 1549, Thomas Cranmer, he comes along and writes the modern day marriage vow, "Until death do us part," which is drawing from Ruth's devotion. This is a daughter-in-law who doesn't even know where she's going, says, "I'm going to stay with you, mother-in-law, no matter what." So now you know the story of "from death till death do us part." Chris, with that said, would you mind giving the blessing?
Absolutely. Heavenly Father, first and foremost, I'd like to extend my gratitude and my conscious thoughts towards you as you guide my life today and bring me enormous blessings that I have on a day-to-day basis. And I'm not talking about the exterior stuff. I'm talking about the internal stuff, the comfort, the peace, the strength, the faith. I ask that you give us wisdom and allow and bless this conversation that we're having today to allow the people to hear what they need to hear so they can make wise decisions, go out and build generational wealth, and be free from the bondage of financial insecurity. I ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Amen. All right, let's jump right to it, Chris. So first and foremost, we had Trump speaking in Davos at the World Economic Forum. And while he was there, he gave a couple of key pieces that are going to affect housing. Number one thing, he's saying that houses are not meant for corporations. Houses instead are meant for people. What is this, and is there a hidden meaning of some kind behind this?
So, one thing I've come to know is that our president is never doing what he appears to be doing. What do I mean by that? Do you remember the crazy tariffs? Remember everybody?
100%.
100% tariffs, 300% tariffs. Ah! So he wasn't really driving the tariff system home at the level with which it appeared. What he was actually doing was he's doing a Chris Voss, right? He was anchoring people at an insane level to make them come back to the table. And since I'm hitting you with a 100% tariff, well, 20% tariff doesn't feel so bad, right? And that's where we ended up in a lot of these negotiations, driving other countries to the table. Is a method to his madness. This is what I believe he is doing here. So he's saying you can't own homes, you can't buy homes, you don't have to sell the ones that you have, but I'll make this exception. What's the exception, you ask? You can build rental communities and own those. So what he's doing is kind of going back to the thing with the Mexican wall. He said, I'm going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. He's building houses and he's having the hedge funds and the private equity people pay for it. He's creating homes and letting the private equity pay for it and these big dollar people. So he's doing two things, right? He's going to be dropping the prices of houses because there's going to be an increase in inventory, right? Because now people will have more options with renting and they're not going to be buying. So it's going to bring the housing prices down and it's going to solve some of the housing shortages. So call this man crazy, call him insane, call him whatever you want to call him. If you start looking at the wisdom of the things he's doing, he's never doing what he appears to be doing. And it's absolute insanity. And I think it's absolutely amazing.
So this negotiation tactic, you don't know this yet, Chris, but one of the things that I signed you up for tomorrow,
Oh, joy.
you've got a $90 million apartment complex in Miami that's on the docket right now. And you get to have the conversation with the seller tomorrow.
Do I get to see the numbers first, or you just...
you 5 minutes before it.
Oh, joy.
Yeah.
He loves doing this to me, by the way, people. He puts me on the spot. He pushes my buttons, or as he'd like to say, he puts a quarter in my back and winds me up and then gets out of the way.
So I prefaced the broker. I said, please just let Chris talk to the seller. Like, don't get in the way. And yes, he's going to be extreme. He's going to be here. He's going to be here. But you just let him do what he does. And the broker's like, okay, all right. But I prefaced it so that you can come in and do what you do, man.
Oh.
Yes. I already know how that call's going to go.
Oh, we know how that goes. We're going to win.
Yes. And it's a nice little property. All right. So the other thing that happened that Trump was talking about, it got leaked actually by one of his administration members, is that they might allow 401ks to be used as down payments for single family houses. Now, none of this is law. None of this is like passed by Congress or anything like that. But it's the conversation that's coming out of Davos. So let's see where that goes. All right. Next up, we have the largest potential exodus in wealth from the state of California. So Chris and I reported on this first. The state of California right now is considering legislation that literally they're saying it's just to tax billionaires. But what's happening is that the state is having a big budget shortfall, state of California. And so they're coming up with new ways to collect money, to collect revenue. And so what they're saying is we're going to go after the billionaires. The billionaires got to pay this tax. The thing is that this one's different. This one's quite, well, at least per the article that was published on this, there's 21 billionaires that got interviewed out of the 200 billionaires in the state of California. And what they're saying is that this tax, it's not only for this year, it will go back in time. Literally, if they pass this as legislation, they can go back a full year and say, hey, you didn't move these assets out a year ago. Even if you move them today, we still get to tax them. And it's on unrealized gains.
Do you realize that this? All right, so let me talk to you. And if you're a liberal, I'm going to offend you. I'm sorry, you're probably on the wrong podcast. Just saying. So you can literally bankrupt a billionaire doing this. What do I mean by that? Let's say I'm a billionaire and I became a billionaire because I'm on paper and I sold a tech company and the stocks went through the roof as a result, or I got stock that is optioned in such a way that I can't liquidate it. I've got $1 billion in stock. You're going to tax me on those unrealized gains. In other words, I haven't even cashed those in yet, and you're going to tax me on that. If I don't have liquidity through other means or other vehicles, you could literally bankrupt me because I have all this stuff, no way to pay the taxes, and you got me nailed to the wall. Well, You little schmuckers created a monster that is going to eat itself because even these liberal billionaires are saying, dude, you got too crazy for me. And they're exiting. And I'm here to tell you, I don't think that, okay, first of all, you're messing with billionaires. These are guys that got money to push back. I don't think that this is going to survive in the court system. Like, they're going to break it all the way up in the federal court system, and they're going to find, I think, that it's illegal for them to tax in arrears. I don't think that that's going to stand up. I just don't see that happening. In addition, you now alienated some of the people that are paying the most taxes in your state because there's a lot more federal loopholes than there is state loopholes. So, with all that being said, you liberals have created a monster that you now have to feed. Good luck with that.
And I'm going to add
Rock'em
that
schmuckers.
there's a trickle-down effect to all of this.
Oh, yeah.
If this were to pass,
Yep.
and the billionaires do leave,
Well, no, even if they pass it so that it's not in retro, so even if the portion of the bill passes where they're just taxing forward, you're going to see a mass exodus of the billionaires, and then
yeah, and then what happens is the state's not going to give up that revenue. The states, they're already spent. That money's already spent.
Yep.
So what are they going to do? They're going to push it down. They're going to, well, the billionaires are gone. We got to go after the millionaires.
And then when they leave,
Then they're going to go after the 100,000aires.
and then when they leave,
And then they're going to go after every working folk in the state.
welcome to a party that just doesn't seem to work.
I left Minnesota for a reason. California is kind of the biggest state that does this. New York also has their tendencies on this stuff. Minnesota started copying it, modeling it, and I left.
Can we get real for a minute? Do you remember what happened during COVID and you could work from home? People in mass left California, not just the billionaires. Anybody that could work remotely. They went to Florida. Heck, they were in Tennessee, all the other non-state income tax having states. Well, that's probably not the proper English, but you get my point. Like, I was trying to buy a house in Tennessee. All of a sudden, prices in Tennessee went through the roof. No state income tax. People were coming to Florida like it was going on, like there was a sale, and the prices were going through the roof. But they were happy to pay it because they didn't have to pay the state tax anymore in California. So all you need to do is give these people a good enough reason, and it's sayonara. You
Chris.
liberal ruckum schmuckum.
Chris actually has a lot of liberal friends.
I do.
He just likes to prod.
I'm friends with everybody, including the monster under my bed. But that's another story altogether.
All right, Chris, I need to divert our attention over to this,
I need to multitask.
the multitask for multifamily. That
Yep.
is, so multifamily, huge forecast just released. In this forecast, this is coming from Marcus and Millichap, one of the biggest brokerage houses for multifamily specifically in the country. They paid a lot of money, I'm sure, to source this data. They came out with the top 50 list for which markets will perform the best for 2026. If you want that, just go ahead and put 50 in the comments, 50.
5-0. We'll send it to you.
And I will post it up here. And I want to get some predictions on this. I want to know what you think will be number one. Put that in the comments.
Oh, can I give a guess?
You go ahead. Guess,
No,
Chris.
I'm not guessing. I already know. But the funny thing is, I had a pretty good idea when we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was close. I was a couple miles off.
Yeah. And we're talking about, like, there's states on here like, well, I'm drawing with the wrong pen. There's states on here like Texas that dominates, Austin, Texas. You got Las Vegas. You got Phoenix. You got Dallas, Fort Worth. They're number 17.
Okay, guys, I want to point something out. Nate found this new plugin in Chrome where you could actually annotate in the browser, and he's having fun with it. And you all are being victims of that.
Kansas City, Missouri. I'm going to ignore your comments. I'm just going to keep going, Chris. Okay. And then you start getting up into the top 10. Okay.
Some of these are surprising to me, believe it or not.
Did West Palm Beach at number 5? Did that surprise you?
No, well, yes, because no, it was more than San Antonio that really kind of shocked me, and San Fran.
Yeah, California and our number 3 city and state. I won't announce it yet, but number 3 shocked the heck out of me.
It really did.
Okay, but when I go through this list, I see Texas dominating and Florida dominating.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And a lot of people said, well, the growth is done in Florida. Like now that
I say nay.
yeah, I'm with you on that. So let's go ahead and jump up there.
But listen, before you do that,
Oh, go ahead.
too late. I have been saying for over a year now that Florida is the unicorn in real estate. It's different. It's a different market. You come here, you could very easily get hurt if you don't know what you're doing, but it seems to perform independent of what everything else is going on in the country. And, And I think it has a lot to do because it's a beautiful state, all the ocean, south, great weather, and no income tax, no state income tax. I think that creates a lot of that unicorn effect with Florida. So we don't necessarily fall into the same rules. So we're always going to outrank the rest of the state. Plus, it's Florida.
The weather's a little bit better.
It's 46 degrees. It was 46 degrees this morning. You kidding me? It was freezing this morning.
Man, I looked at the map of the rest of the country, and they're under snow right now. Snow
It was
and ice.
46 degrees in Florida.
I can still go outside.
Don't you go by Florida.
All right, so let's break to the number one market in the country, and that is Fort Lauderdale.
I was shocked.
Fort Lauderdale.
The reason I was shocked is because look at number 2 and look at number 3. I would have thought Miami would have been first, right? And then Chicago is number 2. So I really thought it was going to be Miami, Chicago, and then and then look, Orange County, California. That is crazy. But the basis with which they're using or making these statistics is a little skewed.
Let's cover that.
Both in a good way and a bad way.
So here's their indicators. They've got 6 economic indicators. Number 1, projected job growth. Are there jobs moving in? That usually means that you can boost rents over time. You've got people that are making more money. You have more population moving in. That's a good thing for multifamily. Number 2, vacancy rates. What's going on in the market? Are they flooded with inventory so that it's driving down prices, or are they almost completely occupied? So vacancy rates is a huge factor.
Well, that plays into the whole Miami and Lauderdale, right? There's no place left to build in Lauderdale. There's no place left to build in Miami. I don't know enough about the Chicago market, but I imagine in the city, there's no place left to build. You have to start tearing down to build. But that doesn't really, Orange County is wide open now, right? I mean, is it a bunch of country?
There's still some, yeah. But not close. Not close.
Yeah, you got to get away from the city. You're right. All right.
So next one, construction activity. What new deliveries are coming on market? And if you remember, during COVID, money was cheap and builders started building like crazy. That phase, it passed. Now we're in a sector where there's very little new construction being delivered. What has been delivered got delivered the last couple of years. Now we're probably going to go through a drought in new builds for the next couple of years. The next one is housing affordability. What is the cost of owning a single family house versus owning or renting an apartment? If it's cheaper to rent an apartment, there's an upside, there's an advantage. And right now, Miami and Fort Lauderdale are both very expensive.
Oh my gosh, I own some property in Miami. It's a lot. It's vacant. You have 10 years ago, I would have said I'd sell that at that price and I retire. I can't do that now because I feed too many people, but back then I could have.
The next one's rent growth. What is projected to be the rent growth for this year? And both Miami and Fort Lauderdale are dominating on that list.
Direct correlation between construction and rent growth?
Yeah.
Indirect correlation. So
Indirect.
less construction, more growth.
And the last one is household growth. How many new households are being formed in that area?
Yeah.
So you still got people moving here to Florida, number 1, and you got people choosing to have their kids here and expand.
Well, a lot of foreign immigration into Florida as well.
Especially Miami.
Yeah, especially Miami.
Chris, the one thing that they pulled out, tell people what that is,
Yeah,
what
that
it
drives me
means.
crazy. One of the things that they're not indexing on this whole thing, which I said could go both ways, good or bad, is they are not indexing insurance and taxes. So that's what I was saying, that you could get hurt here. If you don't buy right, have the right insurance, a hurricane comes through and you could get underwater. No pun intended. I'm sorry, that was so bad. There was really no pun intended. So, but that's not indexed. Taxes and insurance are not indexed in this study. And the other thing that I was shocked that was not indexed was the U-Haul index, right? Because we talked about that earlier. The U-Haul index is a real good indicator of people coming and where they're migrating to. Again, insurance and taxes not there, and I'm wondering if that doesn't slightly skew this thing or not. But I'm proud to be a Floridian, and even though I wasn't born here.
Chris, we have a potential deal coming in one of these cities.
You can't tell them. They're not on the wait list. They're not inside yet. You can't tell them, Nate.
Let's help them get to the wait list then.
All right. So go ahead.
You got it.
All right. So listen, the wait list. What is this about? There are certain SEC regulations that we have to abide by. We can't talk about certain things if we don't have a relationship with you. If we have a relationship with you, we can talk more frankly and openly. Our last large deal went completely on the inside. You never saw an ad for it on the internet. You never saw any public information about it. It was all gone before it even got to the public people. Public people. Whew. My English is really good today. Sorry. So I encourage everybody to jump on a wait list, get to know us, get to know an advisor, get assigned an advisor. Because sometimes we have smaller deals that come through that get shot up like this. But here's the interesting news. We were involved in a deal. We went to do, should I even give the location? Well, it's in Texas. Texas is a good market. We went to do an inspection on the deal to only find out the deal was not what was presented to us. But my friend Nate, who loves and talks to everybody, who's unlike me, loves and talks to everybody, started having a conversation and found an amazing deal right down the road. And we're right on the verge of getting that one signed. That deal, the one that Nate stumbled across, because God's doing for us what we cannot do for ourselves, that deal is 10 times better than the deal we were originally signed up for. So I would once again encourage you to get on the wait list. Start your tax planning now. Get involved in multifamily real estate. Offset some of your income so that you have a less of a tax bill at the end of the year. Because we can't guarantee we'll have a deal in December, but we can guarantee that we're going to have a deal now. Get on the wait list so we can start talking to you about it. Here's how. Put wait list in a link below in the comments, and one of our people will reach out to you and send you the link. But please, 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 don't go to homeinvest.com/waitlist. homeinvest.com/waitlist. Jump on our wait list and get to know us.
Beautiful. Chris, that's running down to the end, man. Anything you want to say? We got a huge event. We got a bunch of clients flying in tomorrow.
We got a bunch of people here. We're going to play pickleball with any of the pigeons?
On Friday morning.
Yeah, but I hurt my foot. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat anybody.
You're going to be Coach Chris.
I'm going to be Coach Chris. All right. So, yeah, we got a live event here. We listen. Like, I don't know how to say this without sounding a little bit arrogant. And no, that's not who I am. That's not what I'm trying to be. But we have been blessed very well financially. So we also have this thing where we teach people how to do what we do. And that's a blessing for me because I've been able to amass this wisdom and this experience, both by making great decisions and by making poor decisions and suffering the consequences. And I believe that God has blessed us with a talent that we must multiply. And we do that by helping other people learn how to do what we do. And as a result, their lives become better. And our goal is hopefully that they improve the lives around them. So we have this ripple effect going forward. And that's what truly fulfills me and fills my heart. And that's what Nate is talking about tomorrow. We're going to have a bunch of people coming to our office, and we're going to have a 4-day in-person event, and we're going to get to be around the people that we love and care about to hopefully get them to go out and have some financial foundation that allows them to have a positive impact in the world. This is one of the most amazing blessings that I've ever gotten in my entire life. If you knew my life story, you understand I was living behind a dumpster at one point in my life, and now God is using me as a vessel, using us as a vessel to have a positive impact in the world. And that's an amazing thing to do. So I'm going to close with this. Sometimes the person you're walking by, the person you're walking next to, or the person you bump into on the street just needs to smile. They just need to know that somebody notices them and that they're alive. I was that person once. Reach your hand out, say hello, say God bless, and tell them to have a great day. Remember, a smile doesn't cost you anything. God bless y'all. Peace.
Guys. You got it to end the Zoom too? Or did the guys end it?